Hi-ya! Vast Difference is back. This podcast is a show where me and him debate incredibly stupid things back and forth.
Oh, yeah, we do.
Whether it's Attack versus Jack Black.
Ooh.
Or it could even be Jack versus some Tic Tacs. Am I right?
Rhymes.
Yeah, I know I worked on that one today. We go head-to-head, and the winner is only crowned once we see the results of the Instagram poll, read by our mediator, Tyus, right here. We post that poll every single Sunday, probably at night, I'd say. We don't do that during the day.
Vote.
Make sure you check our stories. I'm going to repeat that again. Instagram 1722 stories, all right? That's where you're going to find all of our voting, our polls, all that type of shit. So thank you. This week, though, we are doing a little something different that we haven't done in a while. We're doing, what would you say, metalcore versus metalcore band? Metal versus metal?
Yeah.
Right?
I would say Titan versus Titan.
Yeah.
Icon versus Icon.
Yeah, definitely Titans of the music industry of 2008, that's for sure. Right. I'm picking a day to remember, and he is...
Devil Wears Prada.
As we all know it. For those that don't know these bands were quite big, as I just said, in 2008. 2009, 10, they were pretty much killing it.
I would say they might have been the two biggest at one point.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
I don't know of any band that screams the 2009 metal band with the bright-ass colors, big font t-shirts.
Yeah. Osiris's.
Yeah, they're the pinnacle, both of these bands.
Yeah. Now, I mean, I could say there's probably a lot of people that live under a rock who have never heard of these, probably some old people, some young people.
But that's a good thing.
But yeah, it's a good thing, because now you're going to find out.
You come to a podcast to learn and to find out about new shit. Mm-hmm. I do it all the time when I listen to podcasts. So if you haven't heard of these bands, regardless of what we're arguing, go check them out. If you don't know a single song, they might change your life like they did mine many years ago.
Oh yeah, they changed so many people.
So, hey, why not?
If you hear the ice, deal with it.
They do, I'm sure.
So, do you want to start off with this? Should we give a little backstory? Because
Okay.
I'll be honest, like given like a synopsis is not working out for me on this show.
Okay.
So like I feel like if we should hold on, we should do more of like what it means to you. So like what a Devil Wears Prada means to you, and then I'll say what a Day to Remember means to me, and then we'll fucking pound each other.
All right. Can't wait for the pounding.
Yeah.
So let's see. For me personally, this is actually a tough one, and I'm going to break character a little bit on this one. We're going to break kayfabe. For this one, it's a very, very tough one, because A Day to Remember has been in my top 5 for 10, 15 years. I don't know how long it's been. Mm-hmm. My favorite show I've ever been to out of the 400 I've been to is probably going to see A Day to Remember.
Yeah. Most definitely.
And I love just about every record they've ever put out, minus one. Mm-hmm. When it comes to Devil Wears Prada, I will fully admit that in my young years, when I should have been into them, I think because of the fan base that they had, being the Hot Topic teenage girl, it made me not interested.
Yeah, you turned away from it.
Right. And so I missed out on a lot of good shit. Mm-hmm. And so I only really liked their Still Fly cover, and then one song. Other than that, Dogs Can Grow Beards All Over. Outside of that, was not really a fan. Mm-hmm. And then 2020 came, and for whatever reason, I was like, I'm just going to listen to Devil Wears Prada. I kind of slept on them. I'm going to see what they're up to. And then I realized that they put out the best music of their entire career, and they haven't stopped putting out even better music. And now I enjoy everything they ever put out, and I may not have if I wasn't into the new stuff.
So what's the new record that you're talking about?
The newest record is called Color Decay. Just came out, I think it was like September 17th, 16th.
So that's the best music they've ever done is now, not back in the day?
I think the best music they've ever put out is the last 3 things they've put out.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I genuinely believe that.
That's a massive milestone.
And if you have not checked those out, and I tell everybody, because I stand by it, those 3 records, one's an EP, so only 6 songs. If you can't get through 6 songs, fuck yourself. Mm-hmm. Okay? But those 3,
you have to drive to a gas station.
EP, Zombie EP, The Act, and Color Decay are literal perfection. And I'll say this right here, right now, and you can quote me on this.
Quote them.
The Act and Color Decay are the 2 best records of this decade. And I will stand by that, and I will defend that. There has not been 2 better records back to front than those 2. Perfect. Every single song is a banger. The soft shit, just as good as the heaviest shit. Doesn't matter. Love every bit of it. Mm-hmm. So, but this is going to be like a DJ fat fuck talking to himself. You don't start throwing in something.
I was going to say, there's no gushing on this podcast.
Yeah.
Well, obviously, Devil Wears Prada, cool, awesome. I never got the hype. A Day to Remember, yeah, they were obviously more like commercially successful, mainstream, I'd say. Right? We can settle that here. But after listening to them for so long, and then now listening to, Devil Wears Prada more, I'm just like, but they are a lot better, right? So when I go back to the feeling of when I first heard A Day to Remember, it's like, not angst, but it's almost like this is this is friend music. Like, I'm listening to this, I'm vibing with my friends, I'm getting drunk, I'm getting high, I'm smoking cigarettes outside.
Well, I would say A Day to Remember brings on nostalgic angst.
That's what I'm saying. It's very nostalgic for me.
Yeah.
I never went and seen them, obviously. I can sadly say that, unfortunately. But I know I would have if given the opportunity now. But I'd just say, like, when you look back on that era, A Day to Remember really represents it a lot more than most music at that time.
Yeah,
like, I know people would be like, oh, I listen to rap or country or whatever, but I'm saying for us at that time, A Day to Remember was... A Day to Remember was everything to us.
Yeah.
As, like, fucking 14... Well, I was 14, you guys were 18, whatever. Irrelevant. But still, it meant so much to us, where all of us were fucking, walking around listening to it. You guys had the t-shirts and the fucking, oh, I hate my mom hair. So, like, you guys were in the heat of it.
Right.
Where for me, I was more of an outsider looking in. So I'm just like, oh, I hear the songs, I hear the hits, I hear the pump handles and all that. But it just, like, when you guys would listen to Devil Wears Prada, I never got the vibe of, like, this is memorable. I'm going to listen to this 10 years later. Yeah. And for me, I haven't.
Well, let me just say
for
this.
A Day to Remember,
A Day to
second
Remember,
sucks.
On average, for an average person, if we asked our listeners right now, which I am, to go check out these two bands, I'm going to say if you don't like heavy music, you're going to find more, you're going to find A Day to Remember more appealing than you would Devil Wears Prada. Yeah. Especially if you're putting 2009 years of both bands up.
Oh, yeah, they were way heavier.
Devil Wears Prada, early stuff, there's a lot of grindcore, and there's a lot of, like, black influence, and black metal.
I was going to say, I did not hear any soul in that music.
There's a lot of, like, different, it's way heavier than A Day to Remember is. Devil Wears Prada, they haven't stopped being heavy, but they've brought in way more melody than they did in the early 80s.
But they're changing shit now. That's the issue.
Yeah, because
like back then, they were doing like the deep like stuff, right? And then now he's just like, it's timid, it's pussy screaming. You know what I'm saying? Where like Joel McKinnon from Day to Remember, he's just laying those tracks on all the time. He can sing like a motherfucker. He looks like a fish, but he's killing it.
Nothing that Jeremy from A Day to Remember can do that Mike from Devil Wears Prada doesn't do 1,000 times better. He is the greatest vocalist this world has ever seen. His scream, I'm saying
out of anybody.
If there's anyone that I could take their scream and I could do, it would be Mike Haranica from Devil Wears Prada, without even thinking about it twice. There's no one that screams the way he does. Yeah. When you hear Devil Wears Prada, you know it's Devil Wears Prada for the rest of time. Because he has a scream that
I would say the new stuff.
He can go as high as you want him to go, as loud as you want him to go, to as deep as you want him to go.
If you're saying his newer stuff, I could vouch for that. But I mean, we presented this one a few days ago, so I've had to re-up on my listening of A Day to Remember or Devil Wears Prada, and those early albums are very run of the mill of everyone else at that time.
Well, yeah,
where now
they took, again, like we've talked about before, is that a band usually starts something, and then other bands come along, and then it all becomes too saturated. But I promise you, when Devil Wears Prada dropped that first EP back in 2006, because I remember, and everyone was fucking talking.
Yeah, that shocked the shit out of me. They haven't had since 06.
Right.
Like,
well, even before that, but that was their first music.
Yeah.
When that came out, everybody was talking about it because no one had ever heard anything like it. But now, you're going to hear other things that sound like that. But in 06, who the fuck else was putting out music that sounded that way? Nobody.
There was probably some other people. They just didn't make it big. Come on.
If
no one else was making music like that?
They ain't big enough, I can promise you that.
Okay, yeah. I mean,
if
yeah,
you're talking about metal from
if you don't know it,
to really even now, and Blake doesn't know it, you're not that big. So
I mean, hey, you just found out about Overkill like 8 months ago.
Overkill? Well, yeah, I don't like 80s metal.
I'm just saying that completely nullifies your argument right there.
Well, yeah, if you're an 80s metal band, I don't.
Metal's metal, though.
You, so.
If it's in the category, you should know all of it, right? Huh?
Okay, well, we're talking about metalcore here, and that's what we're sticking by. So.
Okay, yeah, no 80s metal, no power metal.
I don't want to go on a whole tangent about what I feel about metal, because that'll be another hour long.
Yeah, that'll be a 4 hour long. Okay, well then we've probably said enough about our pieces on it. I can just get this out of the way. My name for my band is nostalgic as fuck. It's like, man, a day to remember. I fucked that girl. It was a day to remember. I smoked weed for the first time. Man, what a day to remember that was. A Devil Wears Prada. You're naming it after a fucking Anne Hathaway movie?
You stupid son of a bitch. It's the. Don't say it's the. Get
it's
it right. It's a day to remember and the Devil Wears Prada. Don't mix the two. It's one or the other.
I don't know if it's the. I'm pretty sure it's
you know who the fuck he's talking to right now? It's TDWP.
That makes sense why
and ADTR.
That makes sense why I couldn't look up the logo. I kept looking up a Devil Wears Prada and Anne Hathaway.
Anything because I know it's not going to be done right.
Hey, I got to see Anne Hathaway's face. Okay, so that was nice.
The wrong Devil Wears Prada.
But that's not my fault. That's their fault. They should have named their band different.
When you're seeing TDWP, you think it's a Devil Wears Prada.
I didn't know what that meant. I'm not a fan of them. I know what ADTR means because I got that dude out of my clavicle.
Day to remember.
Yeah.
Devil Wears Prada.
A day to remember. What a beautiful time that was. Man, when I seen Emery, what a day to remember. Not, when I ate that sandwich, a Devil Wears Prada.
As fuck, and we all know.
Right? You can't be like, man, my dog died, a Devil Wears Prada. Like, what the fuck is that? You need, like, that. There's just so much more.
In order for me to like a band, I have to like them in the form of a statement?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying if...
Today was a Lamb of God. Today has been a real Slipknot. Get the fuck out of here.
My birthday was a real Limp Biscuit.
Okay, I'm cool with that
one. But I'm just saying, name to name is what I'm talking about. And mine's way fucking cooler than yours.
I mean, I really disagree with you, actually. I think Devil Wears Prada it just sounds metal. Like
the Devil Wears Prada?
Something about it just sounds metal.
He's wearing clothes. How is that cool?
I know, but like, when I seen that name, I didn't even know back in the day that Prada was like a brand.
Oh yeah, we were poor, so
I thought it was just like a name of some sort.
Yeah,
like it was. Well, I guess until the movie came out that I
realized. Is that a president?
Yeah. Like
I thought it was forbidden.
Yeah.
Prada, what is that?
I never heard of that before.
I really thought it was like something I missed from the Bible, like some sort of clothing or something they wore or something that I wasn't aware of. But
oh my god,
turns out to be an actual brand that's very popular.
You thought Jesus was wearing Prada?
Legit.
God's like Gucci, my son.
Joseph was going for the 7 coat of many colors when he could have Prada.
Oh my god, Peter had the Yeezys. Fuck, I fucked up the joke. God damn it.
Alright, so what Devil Wears Prada records did you listen to?
Alright, well, I don't know the names of any of these fucks.
Okay.
So I listened to the purple one with the dead tree on it.
Yeah.
I listened to one that had the crown turned upside down.
Okay.
And then obviously the act, and I listened to part of the newer one, but then we closed, so I didn't get to listen to all that. And then obviously A Day to Remember, I listened to all the ones I haven't, like Common Courtesy, Bad Vibrations, the old record. I listened to all of those.
You can quote me on this. And A Day to Remember, zoom in right here because I'm talking to you. Devil Wears Prada has blown you out of the water in every sense of the word because they haven't put out a bad record. Why can't I talk? Bad Vibrations is pure horseshit. There is one good song on that entire record, and that's Paranoia, which is a song everyone knows from that record. I dare you to find one other song that's worth listening to.
Hey, I agree with you right there.
You won't find it.
I know we're supposed to be debating each other, but I can't argue that.
Yeah.
That album sucks dick.
There is no reason to go back and listen to
Bad Vibrations good, or bad. But the ones prior, those early records, even like we've said, for those who have heart, is fucking amazing.
Yeah.
front to back to front, middle to tittle. It's amazing, okay? So you could put that record on any day of the week compared to the Tree record of Prada, and it's a better time. The songs flow different.
Yeah, but
there's
what
more
you're
of a
saying
groove.
is complete bias horseshit.
It's not biased.
It is, because you're saying,
well, I mean,
it's
it is biased because
this is what we listened to back in the day, so I have nostalgia with it, so that makes it better.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying when you listen to it, there's the flow of the songs. The flow of how that record goes, it makes you just want to, like, get up, feel good, where the Tree one is just more of, like, and it's too much, where A Day to Remember is
so it comes
very
down to
energetic.
you just not liking the genre, which is fine.
No, that's not true. That's not true.
Yes,
because
you're saying it's too much because it's way heavier.
There's a shit ton of other bands that are in that genre that I love. Like we've done before. For Today, okay? Right. We used to listen to Demon Hunter, right? That doesn't bother me at all. Right. But something about a Prada, I'm just not fucking with.
Okay. Yeah. Like, I see what you're saying, okay? And I will be the first to say, going into what I was saying earlier, is that my love for Devil Wears Prada has been, in the last 2 years, going back. Now I love everything.
Yeah.
But
which is a cool feeling, by the way. When you rediscover something that you hated.
Right. Honestly, I prefer it.
Yeah.
Finding Devil Wears Prada was the greatest moment of my entire life.
I can't argue. That's a great fucking feeling.
I became so obsessed. Yeah. And it hasn't stopped, and I don't see it. Now, my whole entire life, my body, my blood, everything thrives off nostalgia. And trust me, if you've listened to our other podcast, we'd make that pretty goddamn clear. Okay? So, this is big words right here. Because there's no records from back in the day that give me more nostalgia, or have I listened to more than Homesick and For Those Who Have Heart from A Day to Remember. Okay? So when I listen to those, it makes me happy. It brings back these great fucking memories that I had from being a teenager and all this fun shit we used to do, right? But these last three of the Devil Wears Prada records, blow those out of the fucking water. They don't
every single one.
I swear to God, I'm going to attack you live on this podcast. I'm talking about the last three records that the Devil Wears Prada put out are better than even the ones that give me nostalgia of A Day to Remember.
I know, that's what I just said. Those records, those three are better than all of A Day to Remember.
Yes.
Okay, that's what I was saying.
Okay, yeah.
Fully disagree. Fully, wholeheartedly. I'll give you that The Act is probably one of the best records that come out in the last, 5 years? Right? 4 years? I don't remember what year it was. But that's for sure. But to say that record is up there with the greats, to be up there with the past 15 is just full-on bullshit. Okay? Because, I will say Bad Vibrations is shitty, right? I get that. But if we're talking of all time, okay, all of the songs that are on For Those Who Have Heart, or that are on Homesick, even though I know it's overplayed, are a lot better than the ones with that. Or on The Act. And I know you're going to bring up, but the lyrical content and all that shit. And the musicianship and all that, and the penmanship and all that, right? That doesn't apply to me in any music I'm listening to.
But it does to me, though.
I know. But you know what the fucking point of this is? It's bias. That's the point of this whole goddamn thing. You have yours, I have mine.
Yes, and I'm allowed to describe my being biased as well.
But I'm saying, if you're you're being biased, I'm like, fuck. That's the point of the show. I'm biased on what I'm debating you about. That can't be an argument. If we're debating Tyus one of these episodes, and he's like, Shawn Michaels, no matter what. Yeah, that's the fucking point.
Right.
Yeah, okay. Glad we got that settled. So...
I think we were on the same page the whole fucking
time. Obviously, my biggest thing when it comes to music in general, genuinely, I don't typically listen to the lyrics over and over and over. If I catch it, I'll fuck with it. But you're like a fucking, guy just going over each little one. So I get that you find these meanings in songs. You get the idea of what they're even going for in songs. Where for me, I'm just like, that's a pretty good song.
Right.
That one made me dance.
Yeah.
And that's how I feel today.
And I understand from that perspective.
There is a very big difference, obviously, how you listen to these than how I listen to these, right? So when you do bring up all that shit, just know I'm going to be like, So his father died? Okay, yeah. That's real rough. That's awful. Because I didn't hear any of that shit.
Talk about Mike's dad that way. He's still alive and well.
Mike Orcarena or whatever.
Well, okay. That is true. Now, that is your bias. Now, flipping that, my bias is it's lyrics first. Always has been, always will be. If I like what you're saying, I don't really care what the song sounds like. I'm probably still going to love that song just because, like, I love writing. So that's what I pick
Unless,
up on
though,
first.
that's not true, because we just listened to a song in the car where you're like, I don't even give a fuck about the lyrics or anything else, but the riff to this is real good.
Oh, yeah. But I'm saying what I love, what I really love, it's lyrics first.
Yeah.
And when I'm listening to a song, the music is second. Like, I'm hearing the music and, like, I'll like a riff. But for me to love a song and to keep coming back, the lyrics are what's bringing me there. Okay? So with A Day to Remember, it is very, very angsty. It is very, like, when we were teenagers, it did say all the things that we felt at that time. Right?
Yeah, of course.
And even still, like, as they've went on, like Jeremy is also a great songwriter. And one of the best, like, melody writers we have today, I would say. Like, there's no one that writes a melody better than A Day to Remember.
Oh, I got a great point for that now.
But considering that I am lyrics first, I will say this right here, right now. The act, zombie, not as much, because, I mean, that's a concept about a zombie outbreak, so that's not good.
I mean, you got to do it.
Even though I love the lyrics because of what it is, but it's not, like, a personal thing. Still check out that record, though. But,
oh my God.
With them, like, especially this new record, this came out just not even, well, I guess a month ago at this point.
Yeah.
So, this record didn't come out to the end of the year. And somehow, and I mean this, every single song on that record has somehow described in every way the year I've had. And has brought me peace and solace and has made me feel like I'm not alone and that someone else out there feels the way that I've been feeling this entire year. So to hear that and to listen to it, like, I'm not really a crying type of person, but, like, if I wanted to, I could put on that record and really just dive into what he's saying and could probably bawl my eyes out for like an hour because nothing feels more personal than that record. Like,
that's your BetterHelp.
Right, legit. And it came out at a time when I truly fucking needed to hear everything, and since that record's come out and I've listened to it over 100 times this month, it hasn't stopped making me feel better. And when I'm feeling down, I can put on the saddest song on that record, which in my opinion would be 25. Okay? And I can put that on, and when I'm feeling my lowest, it makes me feel even lower, and then by the time the song is over, I'm feeling back up again. And to me, that is the beauty of music, and that's what I love, and that's why I've been obsessed with music since I was a kid, because it's all I've ever fucking had. And A Day to Remember, they bring out the riffs, they bring out the fun, it's a good time, everybody wants to mosh, all that stuff. But Devil Wear Prada, they make me want to mosh, but they also, like, make me feel. And it's, I went and seen them, and I was in the pit, I'm moshing for a totally different reason than I would be at A Day to Remember. Without question. Like, and again, my bias. So I'm explaining my side of the story here.
They have 25 songs on a record?
What?
You said they had 25 songs.
The name of the song, the saddest song on the new record is called 25.
Oh, I was going to say, God damn, 25 on a record? No. Fucking hell.
I mean, they could have put it out and I would still love
it. It's like Rancid or Rush.
Yeah.
But yeah, sorry, that just really caught me off guard. And I have not heard anything else you've been saying besides just like, man, they had 25 songs on one record.
Well, I'm glad you're really hearing out all my personal problems that you're really paying attention to here. So. When there's a suicide note in the morning, know that Austin did not give a fuck.
And then I'll just be like, slowly chemical. And then I'll walk out of the room. If you know, you know. Also, if we're, going to go for it, if we have to, the album covers. Okay. It's not just about the music when it comes to band.
Right. Yeah, we can take it. That's fine.
The album cover. Name one of Devil Wears Prada that is cooler than the dude with the knife in the back Or all those who have heart when he's like in a fucking egg and then there's like water in the egg and then there's people outside and all that. Yeah. You know. And then that one with the eagle, like even though it's simple, right? Mm-hmm. But it's just a fucking badass eagle, phoenix, whatever the fuck it is. You know, I don't know shit about anything. That's cool as fuck. Now, I'll grant you, like, people are like, but the tree's cool. I'm like, yeah, but what other than the tree do you have?
I think The Act is a very cool album cover.
It's too congested.
Looks like they're opening a portal to hell. It's metal as fuck. I love that.
Did you see what I saw?
I love the album cover to Dead Throne with the upside down skull with the throne coming out of it. That's just a cool, like, that's a tattoo right there. Like, it'd be cool as fuck.
Yeah, I'm honestly surprised I haven't seen anybody with that around here.
Yeah, I've seen it on the internet.
Oh, of course.
Not in person.
So any tattoo, you're like, man, I've never seen that. You click it one time on the internet and it's 5,000 options. Sorry, random tangent. But, like, even the old record, like I said, that's funny as fuck. It's all of them animated as they're, like, fucking, in a nursing home, 80-year-olds? Mm-hmm. But they still got the tattoos and the drinks around, and they're playing like Parcheesi and shit. That's funny.
Right.
Devil Wears Prada doesn't have anything funny. They're just like, oh, we're serious, we're fucking hard. Do you remember they're fucking, they're funny guys. Did you not read any
of their old song titles?
I'm saying the album covers. We're only talking album covers here. Not song titles, none of that stuff. And yeah, I did. Stickly, get the fuck out of here. I seen that.
Shut the fuck up with that.
Yeah.
I'm about to disrespect my surroundings right now, I swear to God.
Oh my God! Knock over the mic.
Stickly, get the fuck out of here with that.
Hey, I had to. I've had that one warming for a month. But yeah, only album covers. They don't have any funny shit. Where they're like self-aware. They're like, oh, we're a fun time. We're a fun band.
Yes,
where Devil Wears Prada.
But A Day to Remember also are pop punk. And pop punk is comedy. That's a part of pop punk. Is being goofy and having fun. They mixed the hardcore with the pop punk. And that's why it's more digestible. The Devil Wears Prada is primarily metal. They're not really going for the happy-go-lucky fun shit.
That's alright.
So
they can go for whatever.
I mean, I don't really know why we're debating that part of it, because one band does that and the other band doesn't at all.
Yeah, we're debating which one's cooler of the album covers. That's what we're debating here. And that's why I'm saying that the funny one wins. Because that one's more wacky, zany, where the other one's just like, yeah, it's a skull with a church on it. Or it's just a black photo with a triangle in it. Like, that's lame. With the 3 lines, like, no one wants that shit. Logo, yeah, but come on. Come on. And Homesick compared to that record, which one's cooler? This dude's in a fucking forest with trees and shit, and the rest is just a black record with a triangle.
Yeah, I mean, putting those two head to head, yeah, okay, sure, I would agree.
Homesick against most records.
Yeah, Homesick is one of
the best fucking album covers of all time.
Cool. Very cool.
Right? Like I said, the tree's cool and shit, but I'm just not a fan of it. I just can't get into it.
No, I mean,
yeah,
I get that. That's fine. But I think, like, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
But, again, one band is, like, they're reaching for something that you like. Mm-hmm. So I get why you would like it. But the Devil Wears Prada, you can't really base it off of that when they're not that kind of band. Like, it's just different. And then if we're going to steer away from that, because we've already touched on that. Mm-hmm. Let me just... I'm going to put the nail in the coffin right here, right now.
Oh, you say that every time, and it's never the final nail.
Well, I'm putting the nail in my own goddamn coffin because I don't give a fuck. All right. A Day to Remember have put out 3 of the same records, at least.
Wow.
At least. Okay? Again, I am a massive fan, so anything I'm speaking here is with full knowledge.
Betrayal.
And I dare you to test me on my Day to Remember knowledge. You won't be able to beat me.
You just put a knife in his back.
Yeah, and I will continue. If we're going up against the Devil Wears Prada, I will stab you. And I'll piss in the wound. I don't give a fuck.
Sorry, Mr. Westfall.
It's Devil Wears Prada first, always. Okay? Now, Devil Wears Prada have never put out 2 records that sound the same. Every single record, they've pushed something. They've changed something. The way they sound now is completely different than the way they sounded 10 years ago. And then the way they sounded 5 years before that, completely different. A Day to Remember sound completely different now. And well, really, they don't even sound different now. Now they're just softer and have more pop. And they took away the edge. And then they put out 1 heavy song per record so they can still keep a heavy fan base.
But it's easy. It's one saying. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, but they need to fix it.
No, they don't. They're making bank. They're making their dreams come true.
Yeah, you need to fix it.
No, you don't need to fix it.
They have not put out a banger since 2010, and that is fact.
But they're still living their life. They're just trying shit. They're in their experimental phase. Who cares? That's fine. You just said earlier that they went different with their new shit.
But they're not experimenting. What they're doing is giving in to make money. The Devil Wears Prada is truly experimenting. They add shit. They do all these weird sounds, and they're finding all this shit. A Day to Remember are literally using the same exact chord structures, a lot of the same melodies, a lot of their breakdowns sound exactly the same from record to record. The Devil Wears Prada, you will not find that.
So no song in the entire discography they've ever put out, singles, EPs,
if
sounds anything like each other.
The first record, maybe the first two, like that first EP.
Okay,
into
see,
their
that's
debut.
what I'm saying. Because I listened to that shit, and a lot of songs sounded the same.
Okay, sure. But if you go listen to because they both released 2 new records this year.
Yeah.
Both of these bands.
Yeah.
Okay? And we all know A Day to Remember's album is pretty shit. There's like maybe 3 good songs on there. Maybe.
Yes, and man.
You're trying to tell me that you go around bumping that record?
No, it's just like you're shitting all over just purely what they do, and it's like, but they're still
because that's what the show is.
But they're still putting out their craft.
Yeah,
right?
But do better.
Oh my god!
You make enough money.
Now you're splitting hairs.
You make enough money to where you can experiment. You do 2 tours a year and take over the world
exactly.
in those 2 tours.
Yeah.
Okay. So you have more than enough time.
Oh, yeah.
More than enough money.
They're killing it.
You could be putting out better records. Mm-hmm. That's all I'm saying. The Devil Wears Prada don't make near as much money. Without question. Mm-hmm. They don't make anywhere near what A Day to Remember does. Mm-hmm. And they're still reinventing themselves. Every single time they put something out. You cannot say that about A Day to Remember. At all.
But is reinventing yourself really worth it without this success?
If it means you're putting out good stuff. It's not always good. Sometimes experimenting goes wrong. I can agree with that.
There we go.
But A Day to Remember have stuck to A Day to Remember their entire fucking career. And, like, they try to be like, yeah, well, you know, we're not... Like, I'm okay with them not being heavy. I get that. If you don't want to do that, you know, you're, like, fathers now. Like, I understand you don't have that same angst. Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah, see, both bands, by the way, let's clarify that. Both bands are in their, 45s? Early 40s, whatever. So there's no way they're still, you know, doing the same shit, which makes sense why they've both just kept on going and going and
A Day to Remember are still sticking with the pop punk sound, removing the breakdowns and throwing in some catchy melodies. That's A Day to Remember, and that's what we love them for. Mm-hmm. I get that. But they don't change it up. Like, you can still take that formula, throw in a different type of breakdown.
Yeah.
Throw in something that's different, something that's new. Like, the stuff they did on this new record, the songs that are heavy are pretty generic. The one song that's the heaviest, they ruined by throwing a chorus in on it. If they would have just stayed heavy for that 2.5-minute song and just stayed heavy the whole time, it would have been a banger. But you come in with this fucking poppy...
See, I didn't mind
song.
that.
It doesn't fit. It's not
I didn't mind
that.
The
song.
It did not ruin the song by any means. Ruined would be like they had like an orchestra at the end, and it's like a violin solo.
Well, what I mean by ruined is I would have said it was the best song on the record, but because that chorus comes in and it doesn't fit, and it changes the entire like format of the song.
It ruined the whole record?
Well, that record's shit. That's what I'm saying. That record is not good. And I'm saying this as a fucking fan. I'm not saying this as someone who doesn't listen. I'm saying this to them. I want them to hear this because I want them to do better. I want a good A Day to Remember record. I miss that shit. They have not put out a good record since 2012. Common Courtesy was the last good record they put out.
Oh, that's been since 2012. That was like...
No, it was 2012. I promise. You can look it up right now. Yes.
God damn.
Because I got divorced that year. That came out the same year.
Shout out divorce.
Best time of my life.
Clip it.
But yeah, they have not put out fire since that record. Like, everything else, like Paranoia, I tolerate it. I'm like, yeah, it's a good song. Anything on You're Welcome, it's a good song. I can vibe to it. It's okay. But a great song, something that keeps me coming back, makes me want to keep listening, has not happened in their career since Common Courtesy. That, for me, maybe other people feel different, but that record, I spun it
a lot of people
months
feel
after it
about
came
that.
out.
Yeah.
But these last two, I've listened to them once or twice, and I don't give a fuck, because they're not that great. You're Welcome is, like, pretty much a pop record. Like, you could put that in fucking Disney commercials if you wanted to. It is not great. Like, and then you throw in the poppiness, which I love pop. Like, I like a lot of poppy shit. I'm not just into heavy.
Yeah.
But...
So you've always been into that.
To do it, like, you're trying to tell me that you think Degenerates is a good song.
No, fuck no.
That is not the most patronizing,
I'm not a fan.
Bubblegum pop
but they got more shit than that.
Heard.
They have more shit than just that song.
Yes.
So that's why I overlooked that song, and I'm like, oh, these are pretty good.
Right, because everything that you're going to love from A Day to Remember came out 10, 15 years ago.
That's not true. Not for me. Not for a lot of people.
Okay, what song do you like that's new?
Whatever that fucking motherfucker one is. Motherfucker, or whatever. Bloodsucker, yeah.
Yeah, okay, there we go. That's probably the best song. So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
see? Okay. That one's nice. Now, again, I'm not going to say it's the greatest song of all time written by anyone ever written a song, but it's really fucking good. Right. Really fucking good.
But I just
you're saying, but hold on, you're saying that out of anything they've made in the last 6 years or whatever, that song, out of everything they've put out, is definitely probably up there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That would be probably
that's
at least top 3 for sure of what they've put out in the last 10 years. Mm-hmm. That's fair.
10 years?
Not 10, because that would be common courtesy. So we'll say in the last 8 years.
Yeah.
Or 7, 8 years, that's probably the best song they've put out. Okay?
Well, actually, we're turning it into 2023, so it's 11 years ago.
Even worse.
Yeah.
So... It says a lot about a band, okay? If you know about music, if you follow the trajectory of bands, okay, it does not happen often that bands put out their best music in the last half of their career. Mm-hmm. From artists, rappers, bands, doesn't fucking matter. Most of their best shit comes out in the early years of their career because they gave a fuck way more. Mm-hmm. That's fact. Everybody knows that when you follow music, okay? So I think it says a lot that the Devil Wears Prada are putting out the best shit they've ever put out in their late 30s. That is insane. Especially because for them, when they started, they were 16 and 17 years old.
I think so. One of them was like 14 or something.
Yeah, I think one of them was, like, legit. So to be doing it this long and now you're putting out the best stuff, the stuff that, like, really is, like... great fucking music. Like, it's just different. No one else is doing what they do. Yeah. Like, it's a totally different sound. When you hear it, you know it. And, like, that's always been my favorite. Like, that's why I love NoFX. Is the same reason. Like, you
a lot of people try ripping them off, too.
Right. Yeah, people rip them off, but I'm saying you know where it started. Mm-hmm. Like, when you hear NoFX, you know Fat Mike's voice. It's NoFX. Like, you know who it is. If you've heard it before, you know immediately it's them because no one else sings like him, right? And it's the same way with them. Like, and that's why I love him. And I love Jeremy's voice. He used to be my favorite vocalist for a long time. You know that.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm not shitting. I'm not trying to shit on...
You used to want to make your eyes like him.
Yeah, I'm still working on it.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to try to act like I'm not a fan or like I'm trying to shit on them. I'm just saying if we're putting these two head-to-head... and you put them, like, their entire career, entire catalog, both bands up against each other, The Devil Wears Prada is just a better band. That's just my feeling.
And I highly disagree with that.
All right. Now let's see how the fans feel.
All right.
And that's how you do one hell of a show right there, boys.
All right. Hit him with the butt plugs.
Oh, butt plugs? All right. So as you know, this show, Vast Difference, is under the umbrella of 1722 Podcast. It's our network, which you can find on YouTube, Facebook, Spotify, Instagram, TikTok, whatever. Any socials, any platforms, we're on there. You go on there, you interact with us, comment, like us, share us, please, with your friends, whatever you want to do. But interact, please.
Help us out.
Help us out. Let's see those polls.
All right. A Day to Remember 1, 7-3.
I knew it.
Yeah, I seen that one coming.
Yeah.
There we go.
Right, because one is more digestible, as I said before.
But more views than it was last time. So thank you.
Thank you for your votes.
Hell yeah.
Devil Wears Prada, you got a fan in me, and you know I will always have your back.
Got a fan in him.
A day to remember, you have a nostalgic fan in me.
Oh,
all right, you guys have a good one.
Thank you for coming with you.